it started to not fit after that first big trip to Asia, to India, Nepal, and Bali. Those three. That's what changed everything. So that just changed the whole trajectory of my life. And I thought, I don't even want to go back home.
Hello, family around the world. Have you ever wondered what it takes to pack up your life and start over in a new country or in multiple countries? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Expat on a Budget, the show where we explore the highs, the lows, and the crazy adventures of living abroad. I'm your host, Kimberly Ann, and in every episode, I interview the expats and nomads who are actually living the dream to find out how they did it and how you can too. This week's guest is Mary Bartnikowski, and wow, just wow, you are in for a treat. This is a long episode, and I did consider breaking it into 2 episodes, but I think that it flows pretty well in 1 episode. And she is just a fountain of information. We met on Substack. I do talk about that in the interview, but I fell in love with her. She's awe-inspiring. She is the person that is doing what most people only dream of doing, and she's been doing it for 20 years. She has been not a full-time nomad, as I kept trying to push her to agree to say, but a part-time and almost full-time, a lot of the time nomad. And she will be telling you all about her amazing adventures and how she makes it work. So stay tuned. You're in for a big treat. Welcome to the podcast. I am super, super, super excited and happy to have you. Okay, let me put up your last name so I can phonetically sound it out. Mary.
Everybody gets that one wrong, the syllable. They reverse it, Bartin, but it's Bartnia. But
Okay.
it's easy to do.
Bartnet. Okay. Okay. So I'm really excited that you're here. And for anybody who doesn't know, we met on Substack. And I just adore you. And you are such you're who I want to be when I grow up and all that, and who I look up to. And so can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I would love to. Thank you so much for having me on, Kimberly. This is so fun. So I started traveling 20 years ago. I have a home base in Silicon Valley, but I have different home bases around the world. And I really enjoy this lifestyle of going different places, traveling. I'm an award-winning photographer and author of 6 books, and I do a lot of teaching and I lead retreats around the world. So this whole life has evolved from not knowing how it would happen to now I'm helping people do it as well. And usually what happens is people are solo traveling for the very first time and they need some guidance. And then I lead photography retreats. Sometimes people come on those and then they start traveling in the world by themselves, which is very exciting for me because I'm on a mission to get more people traveling.
That's awesome. So you are like a full-time digital nomad, correct?
Well, I wouldn't really call myself a digital nomad because the most money I make is coming back here to Silicon Valley, doing photography assignments and also doing teaching. Like I just did a library program at 8 different libraries. They have the budget to pay for high-end programs, teaching photography mostly, and then also teaching a solo travel workshop for an hour and a half. Those were free, but they paid me. So that was fun. I'm working towards being able to be location independent with the consultations, which I think is definitely achievable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But can I call you a full-time nomad? Because I feel like you're a nomad. No? Would you,
Okay.
how do you define yourself?
I
Not that you
call
need to.
myself a full-time traveler,
Okay.
um, because of the different ways that I've approached it.
Okay.
Because to me, nomad kind of sounds like you're actually doing like a digital job and I like to give people different ideas about how they can do this because I do come back to California. I used to travel 6 to 10 months a year. Now that's a little bit less because I'm going to Europe. So that needs a bigger budget. So I go to Europe every year now. I used to go to Asia. That required a smaller budget. So I could be gone longer. So there's a lot of permutations of how to do this.
Hmm. And then when you're in California, are you always living in your van or no?
I do a lot of different things. Since I started 20 years ago, organically people started asking me to stay in their homes while they were gone to other countries themselves, and they would pay me. So there's that, and then sometimes I rent, and then other times I'm traveling. I do different things like I'm going more to this Shasta Abbey up in Northern California and staying there so I can do Zen Buddhist training. So there's a lot of different things you can do
Hmm.
when
Hmm.
you're in your home base rather than having, like, I don't want to have a lease.
Right.
I don't like
Right.
leases.
But usually when people think of home base, and when I think of home base, I think of having a lease or renting having something permanent.
Yeah, and I did do that. I did that for a while and then I rented out my apartment. It was perfectly located and that worked great until it didn't. So that is an option for people if they have it set up and they have a perfect location that like I could pick and choose who I wanted, and that worked for like 4 years. And then I decided I got back from a 10-month trip and I was sitting in my apartment looking at all my stuff, and it was a small place. And I was like, who owns this stuff? I don't want to have it.
Wow.
And so the next trip, I decided, okay, I'm going to sell everything. I don't even want I wasn't, I was going to be a resident of Thailand. So I did the process of getting a retirement visa. Right before I got it, I got in this motorbike accident and it changed my whole life. And I moved to Hawaii. So I'm grateful for the accident. So, you just never know what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, you seem like a person that goes with the flow, which is really hard for most people.
Well, it takes a lot of practice. I mean, it didn't just happen overnight because I used to have this whole, luxury lifestyle of new car, new clothes, new everything. It started to not fit after that first big trip to Asia, to India, Nepal, and Bali. Those three. That's what changed everything.
And when was that?
And that was in 2005,
Okay.
20 years ago.
Wow.
So that just changed the whole trajectory of my life. And I thought, I don't even want to go back home. I'm just like, I was depressed leaving Bali to go back to California. But it was good because when I got there, I had this completely different perspective on how I wanted to live my life. But I really didn't know the steps to do that other than just work a lot, take 6 months off. And then my next trip was solo all through South America overland
Wow.
with my
Nice.
backpack. And
Wow.
I turned age 50 in Brazil. So I defied that, oh, I wish I was traveling when I was young thing. It's like, I didn't even know anybody else my age traveling then.
Me neither. I know a few people that started full-time travel, but they're much younger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're always younger. And so the thing that I want to impress upon people is take advantage of the health that you have, the money you have, the experience you have that you've built up in your life like 20 years
Yeah.
ago was about when I was starting to teach photography. And then I started teaching yoga. And then I started getting assignments as I was traveling, which I'd like to do more of. And so I could see that, oh, I could sustain this. Like it was
Right.
this, I'll never forget this moment. I was going to go pay my rent I was living down the street from the Dalai Lama in India.
Nice.
And I had an apartment and it was very low cost. And I was teaching yoga for like a couple dollars a class. And then I was teaching photography for more. And all of a sudden I realized I didn't have to go to the ATM anymore.
Oh,
And that
wow.
just changed everything for me. I
Yeah.
thought, oh, okay, so that means I don't have to go back to earn,
Right.
which I'm doing now.
Right. Right. Well, things change.
Things
Yeah.
evolve.
Things do evolve. Yeah. It was interesting. 20 years ago, it was almost 20, it might have been 20 years ago. I was in Hawaii. I
Yeah.
was on a retreat and I met Nora Dunn, who
Oh,
is,
nice.
yeah, who is the professional hobo. And she was just starting out. It was one of her first stops.
Oh,
And
wow.
she was working at a hostel for room and board.
Yeah.
And that was the first moment that I was introduced to the possibility of full-time travel. And I just picked her brain as much as I possibly could and then stayed in touch with her and followed her exploits, and was just in awe of her. And so I didn't know it was possible until then, and I still didn't feel that it was possible for me.
Yeah.
And now in retrospect, I know that it could have been, but I didn't take advantage of it back then at all.
Yeah. And so I think, and I've met people that have done that too, to work in hostels and for room and board. And that's what I did, not in hostels, but in volunteer programs.
Hmm.
I started doing that, and that's another way to travel.
Hmm.
You just have to be open to the fact that you can't always arrange that ahead of time.
Mm.
In fact,
Hmm.
most of the times I've arranged it has been on the ground, boots on the
Hmm.
ground.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think because people think you can do everything online, it's actually not, it's not like that in terms of like going to these other countries and offering your skills.
But there are, because I was just writing in my Substack article for this week, there's like Workaway. And so there
Yeah,
are communities or apps
yeah,
or whatever where you can do a trade,
yes.
which I have never done, but I know somebody my age who did that all over the world and loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well,
it's not just construction work, it's like gardening or teaching English or au pair. There's so many options.
oh, yeah. There's so many options. I just found that when I tried to do it, and this was before Workaway and all of the ones that are going on now, they were expensive volunteer programs where you had to donate thousands of dollars. And so I thought, I actually learned this trick from my son that you can actually go to the country, see if you like what you see, and then start approaching people and suggest a program, which is what I ended up doing.
You
So
mean making your own program?
making my own
Wow.
program. Yeah. So that's something nobody talks about, but I've done it in different countries and it's been so much fun because they don't expect. Now, it probably wouldn't work in Europe, but maybe it could. I mean, if they want something that you can do,
Right.
so like in Argentina, I heard about this home for neglected and abandoned people, and I heard this woman talking about it in a hostel that I was staying in Buenos Aires, and I said, I want to go there because she was going, and they just had me talk to the priest that runs it online. I mean, on the phone. He was this Irish priest who since passed away, but he started this whole two homes that were really beautiful and the stories of these people. Oh my God. So he's like, yeah, come take pictures. So he took all these photographs. I ended up writing an article for a magazine and that they actually paid me for in England. So A lot of stuff happens on the road,
Right,
which people don't think could happen because
right,
it's never, I mean, there were other things I could have done too.
right. But what would you just say to somebody that, is scared of doing that and taking that chance? Like how much money, like what kind of nest egg would they have to
Oh,
have if it doesn't work out?
oh, okay. So what I did when I was going to Asia every single year, I'd save up about $6,000. And then, $1,000 a month is more than you need over there. And we're talking Cambodia,
Yeah,
India, Nepal.
yeah,
Nepal, you need even less.
yeah.
I've been to Nepal 6 times and done programs there. That was my first one, actually.
Oh,
And that was online. I wrote this woman she passed away this year, Olga Murray. She has the largest foundation in Nepal, the Nepal Youth Foundation. And I was coming to visit my son, and I said, "Hey, I could teach photography. I could do photography. Do you need anything?" She wrote me right back. She said, "Yes, come." So I taught her faculty photography for a week. I
wow,
had the
that's
best time. It was
wow.
a blast.
That's
And
awesome.
so that's another thing people can do is approach foundations and offer their skills.
Yeah, that's interesting. Hadn't thought of that. Yeah, I have a friend who was traveling all over and she was in Cambodia for 700 a month and also Nepal living on 700 a month. And in
Oh
Cambodia,
yeah.
she met a woman who's living on 500 a month in Cambodia.
Yeah,
And
you
she's
can.
doing great. And she has her own place.
Oh yeah.
It's not sharing or anything.
I know. I looked at a place. I've been to Cambodia twice, and I looked at a place. It was very nice. It was gated, fancy. It was only 500 a month. And
Wow. And
that was like a luxury, but you could find less.
Laos. And where was it? Was it in Siam Reap?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right in the
Yeah, that's
center.
where
You
my
could
friends
walk
are. Yeah.
everywhere, completely
Yeah.
secure.
Yeah.
And you could find that in Phnom Penh, in the capital too. So
Yeah.
there's other options. And in some ways I like Cambodia better than Thailand because the people, the country's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's not as discovered.
Yep. That's what I've been hearing. Yep. Yeah. I'm going to be talking to somebody right now who's in Thailand. I did talk to somebody before, but she's moving to Kayla, but she's moving to Spain. But there's kind of a love-hate with Thailand.
Yeah.
What would you say about that?
Okay. I think if you're a white educated woman, it's not going to be like it is for the white educated men that go there and
Yeah.
find.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm hearing. Yep.
there's that.
Yep.
And I'm just going to be straight up. I wrote about this on Quora. I'm a top writer on there. And
Oh,
they said, "Oh, we're not going to, you're putting down a certain group." And I'm like, but that's what happens there. Like I've lived in Thailand, I know.
yeah.
So it's not it's not what people think in the more touristy locations. What you see a lot of is not the kind of egalitarian culture you're going to find in Europe
Right.
or the USA. I mean,
Right.
in business wise, it's not like that unless it's changed. What the places I like, my favorite place in Thailand is not the touristy places. It's way up in the north, almost to Laos, where I lived in a temple for a couple of months, where my son actually got ordained as a monk.
Oh, wow. Is it in Chiang Mai or higher up?
Oh, way, yeah. So if you look, it's called the Isan region, and so it's very close to Laos. Yeah,
Okay.
it actually used to be part of Laos, and it isn't now. And so it's not a tourist location, although it's beautiful. So he went there on a volunteer project, and then I wouldn't have gone there, but it's 100% Thai. People don't know English. Now it's starting to be more discovered. And so I have friends there. That's even more fun. It's in agricultural Thailand, so it's rural.
Hmm.
So there's like,
Right.
10 farmers markets a day.
Right. That's
But
good.
I lived there for a couple months and the abbot wanted me to do pictures and video. And so I'd go out with the monks when they would go get their food. And it was so much fun. I mean, I even got used to getting up at 3 in the morning. Like
Oh,
it was just
wow.
normal.
Okay.
But I was glad that I did that because it really showed me a culture that I didn't know. So the thing about Thailand is it depends on where you are, but I would suggest to people that they get away from the tourist areas and then you're going to have a more authentic experience.
But you've been to Laos and you really liked it there, right?
I did. I've been twice and I did like it. It's more, I mean, it is a communist country. So, but it's not what you think it is. It's a beautiful country and it's very low cost. And say
Yeah.
if you lived in the capital of Vientiane or that little Vang Vieng, where
Okay.
everybody goes to do the tubing, you don't have
Right.
to do the whole party culture, but it's a beautiful area with a lot of good places to eat that are very low cost and
Right.
an interesting culture.
Right. Yeah, when I was really young, I was when I was married, my ex-husband and I had a really good friend who spent a lot of time there. And he
Hmm.
would always come back with these stories of swinging over the
Yeah,
river and the tubing and it was my dream to go there. And I
you still can.
yeah. I'm probably not swinging and tubing anymore, but
You know what that there's another town, Luang Prabang, and I took a boat from Thailand and it takes 2 days. And it's sort of like this ferry on the Mekong, and then you get to Luang Prabang, and it's just, been French influenced. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of nice places to stay and nice places to eat. And you're right on the river, so it's beautiful. So there's a lot of different options when you go there, and it's the infrastructure is probably more developed now because I
Mhm.
haven't been in about 10 years,
Okay. Yeah.
but I would still go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Do you have a favorite Southeast Asia country?
Yeah, Cambodia,
Okay.
definitely hands
Okay.
down. Cambodia is in my top 5 countries in the world.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
'Cause they've got Siem Reap with the Angkor Wat. They've got the good
Yeah.
food. They've got all these different places. And I rode all around to different cities on my motorbike. It was fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have friends in Kampot, but
Yeah, I
it's in
went
the
to
south.
Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I stayed a week and you could get, you know what I loved there? You're on the river. You can get $4 massages. They had an institute where blind people would do the massages. Oh my God, it's the
Yep.
best massage of my life.
That's me too in China. Blind person. Yeah. Same.
That's so great.
I
Why
know.
didn't why don't we think of cool things like that?
I don't know. Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, that's really cool. I have a friend who's living in Siem Reap right now, but he took the train down to Kampot and he said it was really comfortable. It was really easy to get there. So there's other ways to travel through the country. Now, I do have the dog, so for me, my travel is very limited right now, which is
Yeah.
why I'm hoping eventually to get a van and travel through Europe with the dog. But
Nice.
yeah, but your dog that you keep, is it your son's dog that
I
you?
sh- well, he got the dog as a puppy, but what happened was I started helping him, and then we fell in love, me and the dog.
Yeah, that's
So
what
I
happens.
I miss her right now. He has her,
Aw,
and she gets really excited. She's the most excited of anybody I know to see
yep,
me when I show up. So
yep.
we have a bond, and now I want to be with her, and so I'm at the ocean so I can take her to the ocean. So
Aw,
we go back and forth
yeah,
with the dog, and then he takes
right,
care of her, of course, when I'm gone.
right. I always say nobody will ever be as happy to see me as my dog.
Well, it's true, and
It
it
is true.
means a lot to have that kind of enthusiasm.
I know. I could do without the peeing, but yeah, my dog, my dog yesterday, she was so excited she peed in the house twice, like by accident, little
Aw,
bit out of excitement, which she had not done previously. So that's interesting.
aw.
Not a new habit. Yeah, they're so cute. Yeah. So what about Europe? What's your favorite place in Europe?
Italy, yeah,
Yeah.
and France. those two. Italy's my favorite because I just now I have friends, and Sicily is just great. This is where I've led a lot of retreats, and I have one coming up in February,
Ah,
photography retreat,
uh-huh.
and very small, 3 to 6 people.
Nice.
And we have so much fun. And I love Sicily. My grandfather was born there. So
Wow.
once I went to check it out, I felt like this felt like home to me. I mean, he left when he was 4, 2, 3, or 4.
Oh, wow.
And so he didn't really grow up there. But the little town, I stay actually near this little town in Cefalù, and then I stay in Syracuse, which is beautiful. It's a
Mm,
UNESCO World Heritage
nice.
Site of Baroque buildings. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, that's
We're
cool.
on the water.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've been to a lot in Italy, but not to Sicily.
Yeah, it's really a different country because it's
Yeah.
been influenced by Greek and Arabs and Norman and Romans. And so the
Hmm.
food's really different. It feels like it's more Greek.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool. That's
they have
cool.
Greek ruins too that are perfectly
Oh,
preserved.
nice. And then
Yeah.
what about France? What's your favorite place in France?
France took me by surprise. I love Nice, the south of France,
Yeah.
and I'm going back there again, and I love the whole Champagne. Oh, I'm offering a retreat there, photography and Champagne retreat, not in Nice, but in Paris in the Champagne region, which is just an hour away. But the French, they've got such a different way of doing things. Like they've really got some things figured out, the way they approach things, and I'm impressed with that. And I've talked with a lot of young people there, and it's not at all what people think it is that haven't been there. There's a lot of friendliness in the south of France. That's so far my favorite place, but I've been different places. I've been to Lourdes, to Reims, the Champagne area, and then all the little towns down in near Nice, which you can take the train to. It's really easy. I love the culture there. It's welcoming. The light is beautiful.
Mhm.
The color of the water is
Hmm.
amazing. The blue of it.
Interesting.
And people are still swimming in the winter.
Wow.
Yeah, I got
Yikes.
in too for
Yikes.
a
Cold.
second.
Yeah,
It's
cold.
freezing.
My sister last month just moved near Sète, south of
Oh,
France.
okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Nice. So
Yeah.
you can go see her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whenever I'm
you'll
allowed
enjoy
to
it.
leave. Yeah. Yeah. And I haven't
Oh,
explored yeah, I still have the visa situation, but I haven't explored the south of France. I've just other, mostly Paris, because she lived in Paris for 20 years.
oh
So
wow.
yeah, I was there.
Well, you can get a direct train right from Paris to Nice. You get off, you can walk to your accommodation. I mean, I
I could just
love,
fly to Toulouse, or I could fly to Montpellier, or I don't
yeah.
know which one has the airport, but I will probably drive because of the dog.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, eventually.
Oh, now let me ask you this. I've saw a lot of people in France with their dogs on the train. Is it
Hmm, I
difficult to
don't
do?
know.
It's allowed. Like even,
Here, well, in Portugal, they have to be in a crate on the train.
oh, okay. They don't have to be in France.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I was seeing big
Ah,
dogs. There was a little dog next to me, and it even
wow.
says in my ticket, you can bring a dog, and it's just included. I'm like,
Well,
this
that's
is
good to know.
nice.
That's good to know. Maybe I could take the train because I don't want to carry the crate and a suitcase and a backpack. It's too much.
Yeah,
And the
it's too much.
dog. It's just too
Yeah,
much. Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's a lot.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was amazed to see that. I thought there'd
Yeah.
be more dogs. I'd be bringing
Yeah.
mine too.
Huh. Yeah. I was really surprised in Greece how dog friendly. You can bring them on the ferries and people bring them everywhere. And I was really happily surprised with that.
Yeah, I like seeing that. I wish it was more like that here.
It's surprising that it's not being California, but
Yeah, it'll
yeah.
probably be, well, like, here in Half Moon Bay, you can take your dog a lot of places.
Yeah.
So, and then I noticed in Oregon, I always do a annual Oregon coast trip
Oh,
in
I
my
love that.
van in the summer. Oh my God. And so I took her. She was allowed
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody even asked me if she was a service dog
Nice.
because she looks like
Right.
a service
Oh,
dog.
well, that's
She's
helpful.
big and she's got that kind of personality. Anyway, I, I just took her everywhere. So
Oh,
there
that's
are
good.
pockets.
Yeah. What do you think of Astoria?
I didn't get there.
Oh,
I gotta go back.
you got to go back. It's my favorite.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
It's
It sounds
amazing.
fun.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it so much. And
It's
it's on
so
the
it's
border.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I should have done it and gone into Washington, but I didn't. I was falling in love with all these places all along the way.
Yeah. It's
Like my
such a
favorite
beautiful state. Oh,
isn't it gorgeous.
it's gorgeous. It's
I don't think people know. Like I did this whole blog thing, but still people don't really get how it's 337 miles of
wow.
gorgeous, pristine coastal, in many ways better than the California coast
Yeah.
because it hasn't been disturbed
Yeah.
in all of that 337 miles. That's amazing.
That's amazing. Well, and the Washington coastline. The whole Pacific Northwest blows me away. When I was in my van, I went there, I went up there twice and spent several months because I just couldn't get enough of it. Same. I
Yeah,
just was obsessed with just those two states. And there's so much to see. And then the islands off Washington, San Juan, and then
Whidbey.
the Port Townsend, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
gorgeous. The whole area.
So, I mean,
Wow.
that's the kind of thing that makes me feel like, okay, this is a beautiful place to be in the world. And actually, I'm experiencing it more now with my lifestyle than I used to. I mean, before I did this, we'd camp and go all over California, but now I'm doing it in a different way where
Mhm.
you can really experience like waking up in the morning and walking on the beach.
Yep.
Like that's the most important thing you could do in your day.
Yeah.
So when you have that focus, it just changes your
Yeah.
life. Like
It
it
really does.
isn't, how it used to be when I was like constantly working 12-hour days in my photography business in
Right.
Silicon Valley, which I enjoyed. It was
Right.
just when you spend that much time doing something and you know this, you're cutting out other things like
You
nature.
have to. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And friends and having fun and going out and all of it. Yeah. Yeah. And have you been to Utah?
Have I been to
Like,
Utah?
did
I've
you
only
explore
driven through it. I
the
did. I've only driven through it, and it was so beautiful. I thought I have to come back, and then I didn't.
I did a month in Utah. I highly recommend it.
I'm hearing this.
One of my
What's your
favorite
favorite?
places, and Colorado, and then I did a month in New Mexico. And
Yeah, I have been in New
ah,
Mexico and Colorado. New
okay,
Mexico's
yeah,
wonderful.
wonderful. The
Yeah.
United States is so gorgeous
Yeah.
that I admire that you get to go back every year and spend months in your van going around. Now, can you talk a little bit about the van, the size of the van? Because I didn't realize that it was a minivan until I talked to you last week or the week before about it.
Yeah. So, a lot of people think you have to spend 50,000, 100,000 on a van, but I didn't. I got my van right at the beginning of the pandemic and so got a real bargain. Only one person had owned it. It was a nice family that used it for their family road trips. Really well maintained. I mean, it's an older car. It's almost 20 years old,
Wow.
but I maintain it and it's running well and it really fits. Okay, so here's the thing that people kind of get. I think people go too big and too expensive too fast
Right.
before really trying it out and seeing what you need. Like, sure, it would be nice to have more room, but what you pay for that is you're kind of more noticeable the bigger you are.
That's true.
Like I just look like I'm somebody's mother picking up their kid from soccer, which is great.
Yeah.
I want to look that way
Yeah.
because I want to blend in,
Yeah.
park in a parking space. Like I tried living in my son's RV and it's too big.
Yeah.
Like you can't take it anywhere. And then you have to, it's always couples that have those, and the guy does all of the hookups. And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing that. I want to be
Mhm.
able to get in my car in less than 20 seconds if there's any problem and get the hell out of there.
Yep.
So, so this is very important to me. And then I've noticed there's like these more, the big vans. As soon as you see them, you know that okay, somebody is
Well,
there.
but it depends. Like my van had
Yeah.
been a catering van, and
Oh,
so it
nice.
had a decal on the front that was, representative of food.
But
And
that's even better,
yeah,
Kimberly.
but it was a big van, and it
You have a
was
business.
and nobody knew that I was living in it, and I parked anywhere I wanted. But I'm wondering, is yours a no build or
It's a
is
no
it
build.
a no build?
No,
Okay.
I've just adapted it to be what I want with very little money. So it's kind of like a bed that converts into a little living room in a couple of minutes. So I have like a sitting area.
So you
If
remove the seats, so there's no back seats.
there's, yeah, all the seats
Right.
are gone.
Okay. And then you have a bed that like lifts up, converts like
It
into
just
a couch.
rolls. No, it's not even. It kind of just rolls up. I've tried different things, but
Mhm.
mine just rolls up so that it's a pretty big roll.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's kind of like the back of a couch.
Okay. So it's like foam.
Yeah.
So you roll
It's
up the foam and then you sit on the floor.
yeah, and the floor is pretty cushy too because I've got this rug that was my grandmother's. That's a very nice rug, and it
Nice.
means a lot to me
Aw. And
to
then
sit on the
what about
bed.
a fridge? Cooler?
Yeah, I've been using a cooler because and I think I'm ready to switch to the thing that plugs into the car.
Yeah.
But then what do you do when the car isn't moving? Because it's feeding off of the battery, so I got to figure that out. I have a
Well,
little generator.
solar. You can have solar and an inverter, and you could go all of it, do all that, and
Yeah, and I kind of
lithium
don't
ion
want,
batteries and
you know what I mean? And so it's really simple now. Plus, I don't want to look like something could be taken off it. Like somebody could take something off, like the solar panel. I mean, it's not impossible.
well, yeah, your van is short because I had 530 watts of solar and
Nice.
three lithium ion batteries and the whole shebang.
Nice.
Because I thought I was going to be playing video games in my van, and that did not happen. It was pretty silly. I had lofty dreams, but
Oh, you
it was
dream.
definitely overkill. I had like a well, I mean, it was a mini fridge, but it was like a fridge, like
Yeah,
a stand up, not going into it. It was like a boat fridge.
nice.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was really nice, but it was definitely overkill. Like for somebody like you who's not doing it all year round,
Mhm. Yeah.
you don't, you definitely don't need all that for
You
sure.
really don't,
No.
because then you have to, take care of stuff and
Oh,
it just takes up room. Like, well, one thing that really helped a lot was the EcoFlow that I got, the little generator where you plug things in. That's been a game saver
those are amazing. And
changer.
then you
Yeah.
can plug it into your cigarette lighter to charge it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do, but that takes so long
it
that I've
takes
been
long.
charging it in the wall. Like I just charged it yesterday. It wasn't down that much, but it was like 10 minutes and I was like up to 100%
Wow.
from
But you
like
have to have somewhere to
70.
charge it. You have to have a wall to, you
You
know.
have to have a wall.
Yeah, cool. Because I bought one for here, so
Yeah,
I could do car camping and and it and I charged it when I stayed with friends on my last little trip,
yeah, yeah,
and it worked great. It was
yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. And I had a
They're
big one
amazing.
in my van, a big, like just in case, which was good because every single thing that could have broken in my van broke.
Well, see, this is what happens. The more things you get, the more things that are going to break.
True.
So I've seen this with everybody that has a more elaborate setup, and
Yep.
I don't want to deal with all of this stuff
No.
because the reason I'm in the van is to make things a lot more simpler.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what actually made me want to buy the van. I was renting a place in Ashland, Oregon.
Oh, beautiful. Love it.
And I thought it was going to be perfect. It was beautiful. I could walk to Lithia Park. Well, the noise factor,
Oh,
here I paid $3,000 first, last
oh,
deposit, hand that over. And then there's all this noise like one night a week. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm like, no, it didn't even have a real kitchen.
Oh, like a kitchenette.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
not, it had a refrigerator and it had like a hot,
Hot plate. So that was interesting. We cut out because Mary is driving from or just was parked and lost service. And that's what
yeah,
happens when you're on the road.
that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens at times. So okay, so that's how you got into the van was you were in Asheville and
Ashland, Oregon. Yeah.
Ashland. I meant that.
Yeah.
Not Asheville, North Carolina, but that's amazing too.
Yeah, it is amazing. I have
I
been there.
love
That's nice.
I love it there. Yeah. So you decided, no, this is not for me, this renting situation.
Yeah, I hadn't rented in a while because what I was doing, I would come back and I'd have all these house sitting jobs at these very high-end homes
Nice.
and getting paid really well. So I thought, I actually don't need to rent something. And so in between my gigs of going to photography assignments and teaching and doing that, I was doing a lot of dog sitting then. I would just rent the hotel or do
Yeah.
something for a couple of days. So it all worked out, but I just didn't want to have another lease after that. And then, the pandemic full force was going on. And then I thought, I'm just going to travel around Oregon.
Right.
And I
Cool.
actually ended up working in the Crater Lake National Park for a
Wow.
summer
Nice. Nice.
because I loved it.
Wow. I love it.
Beautiful.
Just like all these adventures that just happen that you haven't planned.
Yeah, that wasn't planned at all. I
Amazing.
just happened to ask them if they needed help there, and they were like, "We're desperate for help."
Wow.
Yeah, because they
Wow. Okay.
normally would bring all these people over from Asia, and they couldn't bring them over for the summer. So they needed people in the United States. It's pretty fun.
Right. Well, that was 2020. That was during COVID.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Right. We'll get right back to the conversation in just a second. But first, if you're listening to this and thinking, I want to do this, but I just don't know where to start, I've got you covered. My signature online course, the Expat Launchpad, is designed to take you from confused to confident about your move abroad. It's robust, really robust. It's easy to follow, and it's currently on sale for a limited time. Don't let the logistics hold you back from your dream life. Click the link in the show notes and sign up today or go directly to expatonabudget.com/workwithme. All right, back to the podcast.
And then as soon as that was over, I went to Mexico. I was still traveling. And Mexico was the only country that would take us.
I heard that. I heard a lot of people went to Mexico and then they were stuck in Mexico.
Well, the definition of stuck in Mexico isn't really as bad as it sounds.
Right. But I talked to a few people that they couldn't leave. They had to stay where they were in Mexico.
Yeah, I could leave. So I guess,
Oh, okay.
if you couldn't, yeah, as soon as you don't have your freedom anymore, that does start to, I've never experienced that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why they couldn't. Now that I say that, I'm like, no. But I remember one woman in particular, she's like, yeah, I'm just have to stay here. So I don't know.
I
She was
met
in
some
Playa del
people.
Carmen.
Oh, I met some people from Canada that said that
Hmm.
they couldn't leave.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Maybe it just depended on where you were in Mexico.
And yeah, and where you were from, what country you were from, because it wasn't a problem for US people.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. So you've done South America, you've done Asia, you've done Europe, have you done Africa?
I haven't been to Africa yet, and I need to change that. I want to go to Morocco, and
Yeah, me too.
that would be fun.
Let's go.
Yeah, because look, you can take that little ferry from Gibraltar,
Yeah,
so you don't even have to fly, although easy to fly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a few places in Morocco I really want to go to for sure. Yeah. I mean, also Tunisia.
Yeah, I have a friend who goes a couple times a year.
Hmm.
She loves it.
Wow.
It's a boyfriend there
That's funny.
in the business now, so that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
so she's invited me to bring a yoga retreat there,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
a good idea.
in the Sahara Desert. So I'm always looking for
Yeah.
new ways and experiences for people
Yeah.
to enjoy.
Right. And then what about like Turkey, the
I haven't
Balkans?
been.
Okay.
I'd like to go to Turkey, and I'd like to go to Croatia, Slovenia,
Hmm.
Serbia.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No, no. I had a trip to the Balkans and I broke my finger, so it was canceled. But yeah. But I've been to Greece. That's the only place in that area, which I fell madly in love with, of course. It's amazing.
Well, then you'd like Sicily because it's
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, I definitely want to go. When I was weird story, I was in Italy in 1990
Mhm.
and it was during the World Cup and I was in Rome and it was the last night of the World Cup and the Romans were playing the Scottish
Oh
and
boy.
they won. And my ex-husband and I had become really good friends while we were there with this Italian couple that was our age. We were very young at the time. We're 20 something, 20. I think we were 20.
20 nothing.
Yeah, 20 nothing, pretty much. And yeah, 20 nothing. And they were also like, maybe they were even a little younger, 18. And they were there with their parents, Dina and Tanino. I'll never forget them. And they were from Sicily and we became friends with them. And the night of the World Cup, because there were so many, I don't want to say riots, but I'll just say so much excitement and exuberance, they locked us in the hotel and we had an early plane to catch and we couldn't get out.
Oh
And
wow.
the proprietor left. And so we ran to Dina and Tanino's room and we were like, help, what do we do? And of course, they didn't really speak English and we didn't really speak Italian, but we were best friends. And so we tied sheets together and climbed. It
Oh,
was,
that's a good one.
yeah, second story, climbed out the window. And, now I probably couldn't do it, but I was 20, so who cares? And they
Yeah.
threw our luggage out the window. It was
They're
awesome.
great. You got to write about that. That is such a good story.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was really funny. That's where I learned about horns in a can, where they have like the sound of a horn in a can. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
So weird. And then we got to the airport and there were all these guys with like, AK-47s, which I had never
Oh,
seen before at the airport in Rome. And then our plane was delayed for like 6 hours.
oh God. After the bad sheet caper.
I know, but it was worth it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's totally worth it. Oh, that's just brilliant.
In 1990, like, what are you going to do? We had to like have the cab had to be waiting for us. We had to, have that done in advance. Like everything, it was so weird. And to get the hotels and all the places to stay, I had to write letters in Italian and
Wow.
send them to Italy months before
Wow.
the trip.
Wow.
Yes, and to France and to I mean we did a, a European tour, and I had to send letters, physical letters to every single place before. It was crazy. Luckily, my sister was fluent in every language, so she's the one who helped me write all the
Wow.
letters. Yeah.
You know, people don't realize how different it was to travel 20 and 30 years ago.
Nope.
Because, like, when I did that South America trip, Google Maps wasn't invented yet. Skype was just getting started. People didn't know where I was
Right.
in what country.
Right. They don't know. Your family's like, "Where are you?" We're like, "I don't know."
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's super fun. It's super fun. Now, did you always feel safe when you went through South America and a lot of these countries that some people, or especially single women, might be worried about?
Yeah, I didn't always feel safe, but I learned how to be a real traveler on that South America trip because what I learned was you totally have to trust your gut at all times, in all circumstances. You can't even really take advice from people that are traveling with their partner or families because they really don't know what it's like.
Right.
And so you have to constantly be trusting your gut, which developed 500% on that trip. And then the other thing you have to do is talk to local people
Right.
and find out where not to go, because it's not going to be in a guidebook. And they're going to tell you where not to go.
Right.
So you'll get a very clear indication of the things that you don't want to do, that you shouldn't be doing. And then you also have to do this because at that time you couldn't read reviews. Airbnb wasn't even invented yet.
Right.
Like you'd have to go, okay, I'm gonna walk up to this accommodation. Do I feel comfortable
Yeah.
walking up to this front door every single time? And if you didn't, you just have to change.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you have to trust that. And I have
Yeah.
stayed in some sketchy places that I had to change immediately because I didn't feel comfortable. So that can happen, but it's also less likely now because you can read reviews about locations stuff. You didn't have any of that 20 years
Right.
ago.
Right. That's a good point. And I remember when we were going through Europe and we couldn't get a hotel reservation. We just went to the train station
Yeah,
and we said we want find and that's what they did for you. They called
yeah,
hotels and found, or pensiones in Italy or whatever it was, and
yeah,
found
yeah,
amazing accommodations that, like in Venice, I stayed in this flippin' like amazing place that the train station found.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they actually still have that service unless they've stopped it. I mean, they do have it in different countries. Like I ended up in Thailand and Phuket and I didn't have a place to stay and they found a place for me. Or you can just stay in the airport sometimes if you're just going to leave early in the morning.
Oh, I hate that though.
It's not so great, but the thing is, you know what I hate? I hate, and I've done this, you get to the place really late and then 3 hours later, and I can't sleep at all because I know I got to get up in 3 hours. And then
Yeah.
and then you're like, am I going to make it back there? And
Yeah.
it's just like,
No.
okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do that. I just don't even want to bother because
Yeah.
then I worry whether I'm going to get back in time for a
Right.
really early flight.
Right. No, that makes sense. Then it's better to stay in the airport. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's safer.
It is safer. That is true. It is safer in physical safety and that you're going to not miss your plane safety.
Yeah.
Totally. That's true. So do you have like now, do you have like a thing like that you do every year? Like, you said now you're going to Sicily and then you're going to France. Like, are you doing like similar things each year or are you branching out too?
Well, I'm always open to branching out, but what I've done is I've fallen in love with Sicily. So I've been going back every single year, and this will be my eighth time. And now I've added France. because I come into Paris and then I take the train down to Nice, which I absolutely love. And then I'm doing a different thing. I'm going to go over to Venice after Nice this time. And then it's kind of open what I'm going to do next because I have these two apartments in Sicily I rent that I just love. And I love the owners and they like me. And, it's the perfect location.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to find.
Yes.
So, so
Right.
I appreciate it so much. Like the Wi-Fi works and there's a washing machine. Like you don't
Right.
always get all that
No.
stuff in one
Right.
place. So it's like, oh my God, I live in the perfect neighborhood in Syracuse, the perfect neighborhood in Sheffield. So, and then of course you get to see the people you already met.
Yeah.
I just can't see not doing that.
Right.
But I think what now I'm starting to see is I need to stay away longer, not just 3 months. So I want to add, and I don't know if it's going to happen this time, but I'd like to add like Albania or Morocco for like a month, not a short amount of time, or
Right.
say go to India and there's an ashram I've stayed at that I'm connected with on the Ganga River. There's a lot of different things I could add on to it.
Yeah. So leaving the Shungun, so you do the Shungun for 90, and then you leave, you go to Albania, you go to Montenegro. There's so
Yeah,
many options. You
exactly.
could go
See,
to Turkey. I mean, not that
yes,
right now it's, or Georgia, which not right now, but they're close to the war zone.
I
But
know it
in the
is close.
future, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. And this is totally different than how, because like one time I stayed in Asia 18 months and
Wow.
didn't come back and went to six different
Wow.
countries. And then that was when I was deciding, okay, I'm going to make Thailand my home base.
Yes.
And then that totally exploded.
And because you're right, the motorcycle accident, right? That's yeah. Yeah.
I'm thankful for it because honestly, I needed something that drastic
Wow.
to get me to change and that's why I did a video on this yesterday. I want people to know that chaos is what brings you to this whole new level.
Yeah, forced change.
Forced. And so
Forced.
I didn't know I was going to move to Hawaii. It was 5 times more expensive. That was a
Right.
real shock, but I did it.
Right.
And I lived on 3 different islands. I loved it. It was great to speak English again. And that's such a cherished memory to be there for 3 years.
Wow. It was 3 years you were there.
On three
Wow. I didn't
different
realize.
islands. Yeah, I tried it out. And I had been to Hawaii 5 times for trips. I
Yeah.
got my first publishing contract at a book conference there,
Oh, nice.
did
Wow.
some luxury trips over there. And it's like, I don't travel like that anymore, but I'm glad I went 5 times because it helped me
Yeah. Yeah.
to know that it was great. But visiting is nothing like living in Hawaii. That's a whole different topic.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure. And you know that when you go to Albania, they have a 1 year visa, like
I
yeah.
just found that
Yeah.
out. I think that's so
Yeah.
great. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can be 90 in Morocco, 90 days.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Wow.
And you can also leave and come back the same day and extend it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So would you go back to South America?
I would. And now I wouldn't do what I did before.
Right, backpacking.
Well, 6 months. Well, a lot of cool things happened from that. I learned how to surf. I stayed in a surf town, Juan Chaco, for like 2 weeks in Peru.
Okay.
And and the waves were not so big that you couldn't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of good things and two volunteer projects. So, but what I would do if I went back was do no more than two countries because they don't have a train system. So you either have to take a bus or fly.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So that affects how you get around because really, I think my two favorite countries were Colombia and Brazil. Peru and Bolivia and all the rest of them are great too.
I was going to ask what your favorite was. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Brazil because I loved the people. Argentina was great too. Argentina was a very hard country to leave. I was there 5 weeks and I thought I better get going because I had 6 months because I was coming back to some weddings I was going to photograph and then a big photography solo woman exhibition that
Wow.
I was going to do on my trip of pictures I'd taken. So I had to get back and get that going.
Yeah. Wow. And then what about like Uruguay and Paraguay?
I didn't get there.
Uruguay. Uruguay. I say
So
it wrong.
they're sounding like good places to go, especially with their visa
I know.
situation. And I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, I'm interviewing a woman from Substack about living in Paraguay in next month. So she,
Oh,
yeah,
good. Oh, I'm gonna definitely what's her name? Because I'd like to hear
I have
that.
to look it up.
Okay. No, I'll be in there because I want to hear about that. Because I would like to. I think now after doing that huge thing, I'd rather just like say go to Paraguay for a month
Right.
and be there
Yeah.
and see what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah. I prefer slow travel for sure. It's much, and when I was in my van, I tried to do slow travel at first. Well, I did. And then I thought, and then 6 months into it, I thought, oh, I only have 6 months left. And so, and I got to hit all these places that I haven't gone. So I did one day in every place. I traveled
Oh my
every
God.
other day.
That is so hard.
It was hard, but it was so worth it because I got to see everything. And I did, there were some places that I stayed for a week, a little longer than my one day if I really fell in love. But like stuff like where I'd go to Sedona and I'd be like, I'm only here for a day or two, and I'd stay like a week or two because it's
Oh, you
Sedona.
had to in Sedona. That's one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Oh, I know.
You
And I'm sure
can't.
it's well, and I'm sure it's that way all over the world where you're like, oh, maybe I'll just, hit Albania for 5 minutes. No, it's and there's so much to see. So how many countries have you been to?
34.
Wow.
Yeah, and many of them several times.
Right.
So, you know, some of them I've been like 2 to 5 times. So I'm not, I like going to new countries, but
Yeah.
there's so many I need to go back to, like with Sicily and Italy. Italy is my favorite country.
Yeah.
If there wasn't all the rigmarole with the visa and stuff, I'd be living there right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's passive income visa, but you can't work on it. And you have to show 3,500 a month euros. I mean, it's a lot.
It is a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a lot. I think
There's
it might
other
even be
places that aren't
a
as
little bit more.
strict. So I'm figuring, okay, well maybe I'll just do the 3 months on, 2 months off and make that work.
Right. Yeah, the Shengun Shuffle. Absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of my one of my fantasies. Now, what does your son think about your traveling? And does he visit you? And what's his whole thing?
Well, you know what? We used to see he lived in Nepal for 12 years.
Okay, wow, that's a long time.
So he started a social entrepreneurship nonprofit that he was directing it, getting the funds from people he knew, Silicon Valley companies. And then, establishing, he bought property. He was solid. And then lots of stuff happened. Anyway, so he's been to 54 countries.
Wow.
So on his own dime. And so he's got a different attitude about it than I think a lot of other people would. But now he's more like he just got back from India, a 3 week trip to India. Um, but I think he's good with it because he's traveled so much and he taught me a lot about traveling
Sounds
and
like
how
it.
to do
Wow.
it. And so we used to meet up in different countries, but now
Yeah.
he's bought land that he's developing into a farm and he has animals. That's
Oh,
why, the dog exchange works because
right.
he's got ducks, he's got an emu,
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
which is pretty big. So, um, we haven't, we only do like short trips, but I miss doing
Yeah.
those
I bet.
Gargantuan, go to Nepal, go to like we used to travel more together, and I do miss that because he's so fun to travel with.
Aw, and you've told him, right, that you miss it?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe he can
yeah,
come visit you in Sicily or something.
yeah, yeah. We've been talking about that
Yeah.
because, in fact, I'm going to offer it again. I don't know if he'll do it, but I offer it because I want him to come and see what his ancestry is.
Yeah, that's so
Because
cool.
the Sicilians are really different than Italians. Very different. And
Yeah.
I think I'm very proud of that ancestry.
Oh, and I love that, going back to it, my grandfather came over from Poland when he was 9 years old.
Oh,
So,
my other grandfather is from Poland.
that's so cool.
Wow. So mine was 12. So does your grandfather have like memories of growing up there?
He did. Yeah, he died at 99, but yeah, we got
Wow.
lives in the family. But yeah, he had a lot of memories. Like his mother owned a general store, and it was in Vyshkova, something like that. It was in a little town near Warsaw, but not obviously not Warsaw. And they had pigs, and they had like a pig trough, and that's where they went to the bathroom in the pig, you know, and the pigs ate their poop. Yeah. And then this
Oh
is the story.
my gosh.
This is the story. Is it true? We don't know, but this was the story. And then in the store, they had a little like room in the back, and it was just filled with hay. And that's where him and his 9 brothers and sisters slept head to toe
Oh
on
my gosh.
hay. So like, hit the hay, like that was real. Like,
Wow.
yeah. And then they would carry the trolley like on like, wheels, I guess, with pickles to like get more pickles from Warsaw and like walk with the trolley back. I don't know. I don't know. These are the stories we heard. We don't know how much is, because a 9-year-old's memory is a little suspect.
No, but you know what? I believe it because my grandfather took my grandmother back to Poland because they were gonna, after he left as an adult, because they were gonna try living there, and she told me some hair-raising stories of like,
Like, no.
this ain't gonna work. We're going back to the US. She
Yeah.
said she was sleeping on a trunk.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
I- you know, I don't even know if she was telling me everything, but I believe.
Yeah. Very different. Very different in the back in the old days.
Well, it kind of gives you appreciation too, because it's like, the times that I've been in Nepal where, so my son got this jungle land. He bought this jungle land where wild rhinos would walk through it sometimes. It was on the rhino path. So
Wow.
these people live in mud huts and they can pick up their mud hut and move it
Wow.
to another spot. Like they don't have electricity in those mud huts.
No. No.
And he brought internet to that little town.
Wow.
And so people just like thought he was a king or something. I
Yeah.
mean, well, not a, you don't want to use that word.
No.
Like they'd never had internet. And so it was so amazing to see. And they didn't, when you see people that have such a different life, like they used to live in the jungle. But then when it got turned into a national park, they had to leave. So they told everybody, okay, you got to leave. So they just went to the edge and built their mud huts there. But
Yeah.
they'd still go into the jungle to like pick roots and stuff, which was
Food.
so
Yeah.
dangerous. Anyway, it
Wow.
just really makes you kind of appreciate running water and electricity
Yeah.
as luxuries.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing too when you're traveling is realizing how cushy the US is for a lot of people.
I think it's way too comfortable. And
I
actually,
agree.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's one of the things that people get stuck on and then they don't travel
Yep.
because of the comfort and it's a trap.
Yep. It is a huge trap.
So be aware that our life is not going to last forever.
Nope.
And we need to do some adventures and
Yep.
get out there and meet other people that you're not going to meet in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
I mean,
And
some of,
and we're adaptable.
yeah,
That's the thing that people don't realize. Like we're really adaptable. So maybe it's not comfortable for the first 10 minutes. And then after, like the things that really bothered me when I first moved here, and I mean bothered me to the point where I couldn't stop talking about it. I don't even think about those things anymore.
yeah,
I don't even notice them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how, so like in Nepal, I've been 6 times, so I got used to some things like their electricity would usually go out once a day.
Yeah.
And at first, when I would be in this, people wouldn't even look up and notice. They wouldn't even act alarmed. They'd just go on with what they were doing. Candles showed up. No one cared.
Yeah.
And I got that way too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
We
didn't
have
care
to.
either.
I know it's so interesting. Yeah, I interviewed a friend of mine for an international living piece a couple weeks ago that's lived here for 20 years, and she was talking about how she just does not like the U.S. I mean, she's from the U.S., but she
Yeah.
said it's too comfortable, it's too cushy, it's too people are they yeah yeah.
Yeah.
She
People
could say it
can.
better than me, but yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. You know what I've noticed though? It's like when I go over the hill back from Half Moon Bay to Silicon Valley, it's like there's such a difference in the population. Like people are more family oriented over on this side.
Hmm.
And like the traffic and just like saying hi to people in general.
Hmm.
And that's only a half an hour away. But demographically, because you're right in the center of all the crazy stuff, it's just going to be different. And it didn't used to be like that. It has
No.
changed. It
Yeah.
used to be over in Palo Alto, I just walk down the street and say hi to everybody because I pretty much knew everybody.
Right.
And it's changed because a lot of new people have come.
Yep.
And so they brought different kinds of attitudes, but
Yeah.
it seems the same out here, like more family and friendly out here in Half Moon Bay.
Yeah, I could see that. And it's like what San Jose used to be to what I mean, it was like farmland. It was like nobody was there. And then it became like in Palo Alto is like, oh, that's where all the rich people live. And it wasn't like that. It's changed so much because of Silicon Valley, because of that's what started the change back.
Yeah, I know. It did used to be all apricot
Yeah.
trees.
It's so weird. And now there's like multi-million-dollar houses, and the people that bought their house for 50,000 sold it for 7 million. And then,
Well, see, that's what happened. See, I was here when the houses were at a low cost when I got here in 81,
oh
1981.
yeah,
Missed that real estate trend.
yeah,
But um the people that did sold their place and lived somewhere else because they made so much money.
right,
So that demographic is kind of gone.
right. And it really hurt a lot of the US because the multimillionaires, the new money multimillionaires then moved to like Seattle or wherever it was, Portland, and they bought the most expensive houses in these neighborhoods where the houses were lower, and they upped the prices, and then everything started just booming. I mean, it's the same thing that's happening in Portugal. I mean, it's happening all over the world. But I always tell people like it happens in the US too.
Oh, yeah. We probably
Big time.
started.
Yeah, we probably started. Is it okay if I ask? I mean, I know how old you are, but I don't know if everybody else
No, I'm
does.
69. 60, and I'm proud to say it. It's funny. When I was 50, I didn't say it all the time. And now I'm like, hey, I'm privileged to have gotten here and I'm proud of it because this is part of aging well. Like it's funny, it's like I started my midlife at age 49 traveling, and my whole midlife has been full-time traveling. And now I'm in this elder state, but I still feel young.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We always feel young in our heads. Yeah, absolutely. I've been so proud of my age my whole life for some really weird reason. And I always say I'm a year older than I am because like I'm 59, but I'm gonna turn 60 in 2020, next year, 2026. But I keep saying I'm 60. So
Yeah.
I don't know
No,
why.
I understand this because I'm starting to really feel 70.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Like,
feel like, well, after my half birthday, which is in November, I'll be closer to 60. So why not? Why not embrace
60,
it?
yeah, 60 is a good one. I mean,
Oh,
they're all good, but it's like 60 is such a milestone because you're just kind of done with all this stuff that you don't want to deal with anymore and you don't have to. You're just done.
I felt that way at 50. At
Yeah,
50,
I did.
it was like a switch. All of a sudden, I was like, you don't get to talk to me that way. Like
Yeah.
it was like the day I turned 50, I was like, no.
Yeah. Good. No, I love that because I really think this is part of aging well.
Mhm.
You're like, look, we don't know if we have 30 days, 30 years, 30 minutes, 30 seconds. So let's live how we want to
Yeah.
live and think about what we want to do.
Yep.
And it's not the same as it was before when we were trying to earn as much money as we possibly could. I mean, sometimes I actually go, well, yeah, that's gonna cost this amount of money, but it's going to give me joy. Or I would rather be in nature today rather than working because
Right.
I love being in nature. And if I don't have that, then things will go downhill.
Right. Or as my sister said when we were quite young, she said, I'd rather spend money on experiences than on things, which is so funny because she is probably the most materialistic person I know at this point in her life, but she didn't used to be.
Oh,
And
that's
I think,
interesting.
yes, but I think that she surrounds herself with things that she really loves, like you said. And so, I'm judging and saying it's materialism, but for her, it's probably like a source of comfort and joy,
Now, is
you
this the
know.
one that lives in France?
Yeah, yeah. She was in Paris for 20 years and went by
Wow.
herself. Well, she went with a boyfriend at the time, but he hardly counts. And she wouldn't move until she got a job. So she got a job at the Cordon Bleu translating because she was fluent in
Wow.
French at 16 years old. So she just kept trying to move to France. And then she got there and then she stayed for 20 years. I met her now husband and moved back to LA for 10 years because he
Wow.
wanted to move back to LA because he was in the film business and he really wanted to work in LA.
Sure.
Did he worked for Tarantino and they had a really great life there. And then, not to get political, but because of the recent political issues, he was like, I'm not staying here. And his kids are grown up, but they're in France. They're not her children, but they're, his children with his first wife. And so he said, we're moving back. And she said, okay. And so they got the container, like a 30-foot container to move all of like my grandparents' furniture that my sister inherited back to France. So
Wow.
yeah,
Where are they moving in France?
near Sète, near the south of France, near Sète. So it's between Montpellier and Toulouse, between Montpellier and Toulouse.
Oh, nice.
And it's a little teeny town. It's north of Sète. So yeah.
That
And
sounds great.
yeah, and they did the scouting trip and spent a month there and drove all around, rented a car and tried to figure out where they wanted to settle. And that's where they decided and they found the house that they wanted. And yeah, so they just moved back.
Wow, the France is so beautiful. I mean, I just wasn't expecting it. And there's so much I haven't discovered yet.
Yeah, I
And so if
really
you
want to
go
go.
in the winter, it's pretty affordable.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Yeah. I just want to get a van so that I can, just travel for less because
Yeah.
the accommodations are really, flights and accommodations are the two. I learned that from Nora, like the two most expensive things when you travel. And so
Oh,
I have
yeah.
frequent flyer miles, so I only use my Chase credit card. So I have free, but traveling within Europe is not expensive.
Yeah.
but for bigger trips back to the US or something.
Yeah, but you're right. The accommodation, because like in the south of France, it doubles as soon as spring hits, the cost for accommodation. So
Yeah.
you're right. If you went, I think that would be so much fun to go in a van in Europe. I met several people on my last trip that were in their own camper vans,
Yeah.
and we had conversations about their experiences. It was fun to meet
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It
So
made me want to do it too.
yeah. So awesome. Like super high on my list. So can you tell people quickly like the accommodation hack that you use that you talked about? I've heard you talk about it, especially last week. I heard you talk about it a little bit.
Oh, okay. So one of the things that I do is so like with Europe, it's I never go in summer. So it's you gotta pick the winter season. And so there's that. And then when you're gonna go back to a place over and over, you want to make local contacts so that you can contact those people and have that connection already.
Mhm.
So you don't have to do it on a platform.
Right.
And so there's that, but that's for, continuing a relationship.
Hmm.
Um, but the biggest hack I would say is doing it off season
Hmm.
because everybody thinks it's going to be so cold, but a lot of places are not. Like Sicily is wonderful in winter. It rains sometimes, but it's never that cold. So there's a lot of places in the world that you can find that are completely off season that you're gonna have a
Right.
much better time.
Right. And
So,
south,
yeah.
like southern Spain, Alicante or those Sevilla, those places, or Morocco, not that that's Spain, but they're going to be warmer in the winter.
Yeah, if you just hack it the way that it's like you look at the accommodation costs and then you don't decide you're gonna go in the highest time of cost, you decide you're gonna go in like the first time I went to Sicily, I was totally shocked. I didn't have to set up anything ahead of time because I could spend like $50 or $60 a night and get my own hotel room with my own bathroom. Like, who knew that was gonna happen? I didn't even have to plan it. I just booked it as I went. Now, things have changed a little bit, but I would still say if you're in the off season, you can pretty much find something that's nice
Yeah.
for low cost. So that's the biggest
Yeah,
tip I have
that's great.
about that.
Yeah, that's great. And I've done the other one where I went back to Padua because I fell in love with it in Italy. And I
Yeah.
kept, I booked the same place. So I made friends with the woman and that sort of thing. And I always go on shoulder season. I tend to,
Mhm.
I shouldn't say always, but I tend to do shoulder season as opposed to high season, which is less
Yeah,
as well. Yeah,
that's much better.
yeah, yeah. I
Because
love
who wants to be in crowds?
No, me neither. Me neither. Although there's sometimes you can't avoid them, like Cinque Terre. Sometimes it's even not in the peak season, it still can be crowded, like the Amalfi Coast, or there's some places that are kind of.
Amalfi Coast in winter isn't crowded.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, I went twice.
okay. That's good to
And
know.
it's just amazingly open and pretty recently too.
Oh, okay.
And prices were pretty affordable.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Ah. It's just like, talking to you, I'm like, I just want to travel and I can't leave Portugal right now.
Oh, so when can you, as soon as you get your visa, then you can?
Yeah. 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 I'm waiting for my residency card. I went through all of the stuff that I have to go through, but I'm waiting to hear if it's accepted, if all my paperwork has been accepted. So I did get a notice last week that said, unless you hear from us, you'll get your card. But
Oh, good.
I have to wait 6 months. So
Oh, boy.
yeah, yeah. So I do have an extension. They did provide us all with paperwork that says you're legally able to stay here for 6 months, but some people are being denied.
I'm having a good feeling about it. I think it's going to work.
Thank you. But like I said, I'm just traveling within Portugal and I'm getting to see, when I can.
But
Some
that's fun.
Yeah, and some things and going to events and doing things that I have on my list that I, check, check, check. Because it's a big country and it's small, but it's big and there's a lot to see here. So will you make it over
Yeah.
here? Are you gonna be?
Not to Portugal. I haven't gone yet. I have been to Spain, but not Portugal. I want to go.
Yeah, please come visit.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Aw. Yeah. So what do you want to tell people that I haven't asked, and where can they find you?
Okay. So the best place to find me is on Substack, Mary Bartnikowski, and also YouTube.
Yeah.
And I have these 2 retreats coming up. I'd love to have you come. The kind of person that ends up coming usually is a woman over 50, 55, wants to travel by herself, and is excited about the freedom. It's a photography retreat. Now, this one coming up in February in Sicily is full, but I'm going to do another one, and I have a photography and champagne retreat in France. So I sent those links. You
Okay.
can
Yeah.
see all the pictures and check out all the details. It's for a week. And that's a really fun thing with the small group of people, only 3 to 6 people. So you get a lot of one-on-one help. You can bring your phone and just have a blast. It's just, the right hotel, accommodation is included. And then most people feel like they can travel by themselves after. So that's what I was
Cool.
seeing.
Yeah, that's
And I
great.
help you with your itinerary too if you want to keep traveling. So
Nice. And people do?
yeah. So one of the participants coming to Sicily, she's gonna do a bigger trip after. So I helped her plan that. She's gonna do some really fun stuff.
Oh, good.
Like going on a big ferry from Sicily to mainland. So there's a lot of options,
Yeah.
especially in Europe for traveling. I'm just blown away by how much you can do and how safe you can feel and how everything's connected transportation wise.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and you'll get amazing pictures too.
Right. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. This
Thank
was
you
so
for
much fun.
being here. I always enjoy talking to you, and I feel like I could just go for another 3 hours, but we're not gonna this time.
I do too feel that way.
And you're always welcome to come here. So I would love to see you in Portugal
Oh,
in
I would love
person.
that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Or maybe next year I can get to Sicily while you're there. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So thank
absolutely.
you. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thanks for having me. It was
All
really
right.
fun.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay.
I really appreciate you spending time with us today. If you loved these stories and you want to keep that momentum going, you'll love my archived podcast, which is still available on Apple and Spotify. It's called An Unknown Adventure. I have links below. For those of you specifically eyeing Portugal and beyond, don't forget that the first 40 episodes of this podcast are my personal blueprint on how I made the move. And listen, you don't have to do this alone. Whether you need a full online course or one-on-one coaching, I've got options to help you make your move a reality. You can find links to my course, which is on sale right now, and my consulting packages in the description. Happy travels!